Imagine adding something to your garden today that will still be feeding plants in the year 2425, 400 years from now. Your great-great-great-grandchildren could be harvesting vegetables from soil you improved this weekend. Sounds impossible, right? But ancient Amazonian farmers proved it works 1,500 years ago. And modern gardeners are rediscovering it now. Except here's the critical part most people miss. Apply biochar wrong, and you'll destroy this year's entire harvest. Apply it correctly, and you've just made a permanent investment that never needs repeating. I'm showing you exactly how to avoid the mistake that ruins crops, and why biochar is the only soil amendment you might ever need to buy again. Welcome to GrowWise Vision, where we combine ancient agricultural wisdom with modern science to help you grow more food with less effort and zero corporate dependency. If you're tired of buying fertilizers every season that promise results but leave you disappointed, this video changes everything. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because we create in-depth guides like this that actually work in real gardens, not just in theory. Here's what the gardening industry doesn't want you understanding. They profit when you buy products repeatedly. Fertilizers every spring, amendments every fall, soil conditioners every summer. It's designed dependency, but biochar breaks that cycle completely. Add it once, and it works for centuries. Literally. Scientists tested them in 2003. They're still more fertile than surrounding rainforest soil that's been naturally building for thousands of years. That's not marketing hype. That's peer-reviewed research published in scientific journals. So why isn't everyone using biochar? Because most gardeners make one critical mistake in the first month that causes their plants to die. And I'm going to show you exactly how to avoid it. Let's start with what biochar actually is, because this matters. Biochar is not charcoal from your barbecue grill. It's not wood ash. It's a specific material created through pyrolysis. That means burning organic matter in a low-oxygen environment at temperatures between 700 and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This process drives off volatile compounds and leaves behind pure carbon with a specific porous structure. Here's why that structure is revolutionary. 1 gram of biochar, about the size of a sugar cube, has a surface area of up to 500 square meters. That's 2 tennis courts of surface area compressed into something you can hold between your fingers. This massive surface area does 3 things simultaneously that transform soil permanently. First, it provides habitat for billions of beneficial microorganisms. These bacteria and fungi colonize the pores in biochar and form stable communities. They break down organic matter, suppress soil diseases, and form relationships with plant roots that increase nutrient uptake by up to 40%. Without biochar, these microbes exist in soil, but they don't have permanent housing. They get washed away by rain or disrupted by tilling. Biochar gives them a fortress they colonize for decades. Second, biochar holds water and nutrients in its porous structure, then releases them slowly when plants need them. Think of it like a savings account for your soil. During heavy rain, instead of nutrients washing away into groundwater, biochar traps them. During drought, instead of soil drying out completely, biochar releases stored moisture. This buffering effect reduces fertilizer needs by up to 50% and cuts watering frequency dramatically. In field trials, biochar amended soil retained 40% more water than untreated soil. That's the difference between plants surviving a dry week or dying. Third, biochar improves soil structure by creating permanent air pockets. Compacted soil suffocates roots because they need oxygen as much as water. Clay soil is the worst offender. It packs tight, blocks airflow, and creates anaerobic conditions where beneficial microbes die and harmful bacteria thrive. Biochar particles physically separate clay particles and create spaces that never collapse. Even after years of foot traffic, rain compaction, and root growth, biochar maintains soil structure. This is permanent improvement, not temporary fluffing. Now here's the massive mistake that ruins crops and turns gardeners against biochar forever. Raw biochar applied directly to soil without activation will lock up nitrogen and starve your plants for 2 full growing seasons. This is called nitrogen immobilization, and it happens because fresh biochar has an extremely high carbon-to-nitrogen ratio. Soil microbes need nitrogen to break down carbon. When you add raw biochar, Microbes pull every bit of available nitrogen from surrounding soil to colonize it. Your plants get nothing. They turn yellow, growth stops, and you assume biochar doesn't work. But the problem isn't biochar, it's the application method. Here's how to activate biochar correctly before application. This step is non-negotiable. Take your biochar and soak it in a nitrogen-rich solution for at least 4 weeks before adding it to garden soil. The best solutions are compost tea, diluted urine at 10 parts water to 1 part urine, or liquid fish fertilizer. This preloading saturates the biochar's porous structure with nitrogen and beneficial microbes. When you then add it to soil, it releases nutrients instead of stealing them. The transformation is dramatic. Activated biochar increases plant growth in the first season. Raw biochar decreases it. The only difference is 4 weeks of soaking. The application rate is simple but critical. Mix 10% biochar by volume into your top 6 inches of soil. That means for every 10 gallons of soil, add 1 gallon of activated biochar. You can measure this easily. A 5-gallon bucket of biochar covers roughly 50 square feet when mixed to the correct depth. Most gardeners over-apply because they assume more is better. It's not. Biochar at concentrations above 15% by volume actually reduces plant growth by altering soil chemistry too dramatically. The sweet spot is 8 to 12%. This provides all the benefits without any downsides. Timing matters too. The best time to add biochar is fall, after harvest. Mix it into beds, let winter rain and snow cycle moisture through it, and by spring planting, it's fully integrated. If you're adding it in spring, do it at least 6 weeks before planting and water heavily. The worst time is right before transplanting seedlings. You're almost guaranteed to see transplant shock and stunted growth if biochar hasn't had time to stabilize in the soil. Let's talk about cost because this investment pays for itself faster than you'd expect. A 10-pound bag of quality biochar costs about $15 and covers roughly 40 square feet mixed to the correct depth and ratio. That's 37 cents per square foot. Compare that to fertilizer costs. Most gardeners spend $5 to $10 per season on fertilizer for the same area. Biochar lasts 400 years minimum. Even if we're conservative and only count 50 years of benefit, that's 2 cents per square foot per year. Fertilizer costs 200 times more annually and provides zero permanent soil improvement. Here's the complete implementation strategy. Start with 1 garden bed as a test. Buy or make activated biochar. Mix it at 10% by volume into the top 6 inches. Plant as normal. Track results against an untreated control bed. Within 1 growing season, you'll see measurable differences in plant vigor, water retention, and overall yield. Once you've validated it works in your conditions, expand to the entire garden over 2 to 3 years. This staged approach prevents costly mistakes if your soil has unusual chemistry, and it spreads the financial investment. Now, the question everyone asks: can you make biochar yourself instead of buying it? Yes, but with important caveats. Biochar production requires reaching pyrolysis temperatures and controlling oxygen carefully. Backyard methods exist, but they're more complex than just burning wood. The simplest DIY approach is a double-barrel retort system where you burn wood in an inner barrel while containing smoke in an outer barrel. This captures gases and reaches correct temperatures. However, commercial biochar is so inexpensive that unless you have abundant free wood and enjoy DIY projects, buying it makes more sense. The activation step is the same regardless of source. Here's what biochar represents philosophically. It's the opposite of modern agriculture's extractive approach. Instead of taking from soil season after season and replacing with purchased inputs, biochar builds permanent fertility. Ancient farmers understood this. They didn't have fertilizer companies. They had observation and necessity. Amazonian societies created Terra Preta soils deliberately by adding charcoal, fish bones, and organic waste continuously. They were building soil infrastructure for future generations. We're finally rediscovering that their approach creates lasting abundance while our modern methods create lasting dependency. If this video changed how you think about soil amendments, hit that like button and share it with someone who's tired of the fertilizer treadmill. Subscribe to GrowWise Vision for more ancient wisdom validated by modern science. Next week, we're revealing the salt management secret that kept Mesopotamia alive for 4,000 years, then mysteriously vanished and collapsed an empire. You'll want to see that. Until then, remember, the best soil investments aren't measured in seasons. They're measured in centuries.